Hello Internet and welcome to my blog. Recently it occurred to me that there are three very annoying things about being a single person today. Number one, the fact that a shower curtain is practically impossible to put up by yourself. Number two, the fact that the salsa jar sometimes is very difficult to open, especially if there's a little salsa caked on the inside. And number three, the lack of single recipes that are good and proportioned for just one person. That's where I come in. Today I'm going to create for you a little one of my favorite things. It's my mom's pork chop and potato casserole, and I love it. It's super delicious, it's really easy to make, and there's only 4 ingredients. So I've got my defrosted pork chops here, a can of Campbell's Finest cream of mushroom soup, some of this Lipton beefy onion soup, and then I've gone ahead and I've chopped up some potatoes. So first things first, I've already set my oven to 350 degrees. So go ahead and get that started, and then take a little bit of vegetable oil. And for this, I have a Corningware. You really want something that you can transition easily from a stovetop to an oven. It's just going to taste so much better if you can go ahead and use the stovetop to brown your pork chops and then put them right in the oven. And I know that that's not the truth with a lot of dishes. So just a little dollop of vegetable oil, and I'm going to start the heat. And I've got it at about medium. I'm going to let it heat up for a few minutes. This is a very quick and easy recipe that you can just throw in the oven and let the oven do most of the work. So it's great, especially if you're just learning how to cook and you're just wanting something that's really easy and simple to just throw together at the end of a very long day. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in my pork chops. Usually I'd only throw in one, but the pork chops that I got were a little on the thin side. So I have this, it is garlic, salt, and pepper all in one little grinder. So I'm going to go ahead and season my chops with a little bit of yumminess. And all you're going to do at this stage is you're just going to brown your chops. You're not really going to cook them all the way through. And part of the reason that you want to be able to cook your chops in the same dish that you're going to put in the oven is because you want all that yummy goodness that's going to come, that's sitting in the bottom of the pan right now. So good. So since these are so thin, they're probably, yeah, you can see they're already pretty brown. Ugh. Oil splatter. Alright, so I'm just going to lightly get a little bit of pepper. And I mean, really, that's about all that it should really be browned here. So I'm going to take my pork chops, I'm going to turn my burner off, and I'm going to transfer them to a plate for right now. So then what you're going to do is you're going to take your cream of mushroom soup. And I've got a spoon. Go ahead and spoon that right on out into the oil and the yummy fat that's in there from your pork chop. Now, I'm going to do a much better job of explaining to you how to make this than my mother did to me. Lucky mom. She left several key ingredients and instructions out the first time that I tried to make this. It was a disaster. It did not taste at all. And you know, when you live far away from home, sometimes you just want mom's good home cooking. I'm going to take this and I'm going to just go fill it with water. I'm going to take that and pour that in there. I'm going to lose the spoon. you're going to take a whisk and you go ahead and you whisk the cream of mushroom soup in with all of the yummy goodness and the water so that it's kind of almost like a gravy. Now see, some of the problems that I've been having with this is it's just a little too thick. And if that happens, just take a little bit of all-purpose flour and put it in there. And whisk that together. That'll thicken it up. It'll make it super yummy. I am a gravy person. I would eat gravy on just about anything. So I love my gravy. I used to work in this great restaurant and they always knew which ticket was mine at the end of the day because I put chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes and gravy, extra gravy on everything. Love gravy. It makes everything taste so much better. So now we have a pretty good base of that mushroom soup and water and flour mixture. So then you're going to take a little bit of this beefy onion, the beefy onion soup, and you just pour just a little bit of it in there. It doesn't need to be a lot. And then you just go ahead and whisk that in there. That just adds just a little bit of flavor, but it's so good. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pork chops and just settle them right back in the gravy mixture. And then you take your potatoes. I prefer my potatoes to be skinned and quartered, but you can do potatoes almost any way. My mom usually did them like halved. So it just kind of, it will depend on your oven and how long it takes. That could affect your cooking time if they're a little bit thicker. So get the potatoes in there and kind of get them worked down into the sauce. And then you're going to stick it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 45 minutes. Just kind of be a good judge of when you think the pork chop is done. And a good rule of thumb, if you can stick a fork in there and you can easily pierce one of the potatoes because they're raw at this point in time, then it's probably pretty close to being done. But always use a meat thermometer if you're a little concerned about the look of your meat. And go ahead and cover it on up. Just keeps it all nice and in there. So thanks for tuning in. And let me know if you tried my recipe.